Hey guys, welcome back to the Catalyst Corner. And you're in for a treat today. Our guest is one of the most inspiring people you will run across. He is a reserve C-130 pilot in the United States Air Force. He is the founder and CEO of Kilo Tango Aviation, and he is the president of Legacy Flight Academy, which is a nonprofit that specializes in providing aviation and leadership resources to traditionally underserved and underrepresented communities. He's also recently engaged. Super nice. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my brother, Kenneth Thomas.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on here, Tony. Really appreciate it, man.
Hey, no worries, man. Look, so, for starters, like one of the reasons why it mattered a lot to me, and in our previous conversations, I was like, look, here's the thing, and I think more people should understand the value structure and the why behind the things that they are seeing. So from your perspective, can you share a little bit about, your personal philosophy and passion? Because we see that you're involved in all kinds of things.
Yeah, definitely. So all of the things I'm involved with kind of have to do with things that I've seen growing up, things I've gone through life, and just kind of the environment that I've been around as I've tried to, excel and kind of climb the ladder in the military. And it all comes down to the things that mean to me most, and that's aviation, motivation, and preparation. So I really enjoy aviation. Like that's my life. I'm actually navigating the C-130s in the reserves, but the aviation aspect, how hard it is to get into aviation, and some of the, identify some of the difficulties that come with it, for people of different socioeconomic classes, particularly minorities, just because of some of the barriers to entry. So aviation, motivation, I feel that no matter what you're doing, you got to find different ways to motivate yourself through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You got to stay motivated. And I've just watched and seen, the different ways that people are motivated, what motivates people, and watch people that motivated me and try to share some of that motivation. And then realize even with that motivation, if you're not prepared to excel in these areas, then you're not going to succeed. So also thinking about the preparation for it. And that's what goes behind Kilo Tango Aviation. That's, Legacy Flight Academy. We're doing our best to be able to motivate and prepare, people to be able to excel in these different areas. So,
So the motivation thing is interesting because, in a lot of underrepresented, underserved, undercounted, underdog communities, there's a propensity for people to be discouraged by the circumstances that surround them. So can you tell us a little bit more about, so your program's called PAR. I'll let you explain it, but talk a little bit more about that side of how you branch out into communities and reach out to you.
Yeah, most definitely. So Aaron Jones actually started PAR as Passion, Attitude, Responsibility. And the purpose of that program is to get out into the community with all of our examples of heroes, all of our local heroes. In our eyes, we're just doing our job. But to some of these kids, the people that go and talk to these students are heroes of them. They're doing things that they could have never imagined. And by just being there, it gives these kids seeing that, oh man, someone who's like me or someone who has a similar background to me is doing this amazing thing. And that motivates me to realize that, there's a chance I could do that. If I ever thought that I couldn't, now they know they can. So, we go out to different schools, we go out to different youth organizations and talk to them. And, recently we've been doing our virtual PAR series where we have all these different amazing people coming in and talking about their story, talking about their background, where they came from, and the path that took them up to being in a successful position that they're in. And I think that's not just motivating for the kids, but that's motivating for the adults watching it too. At any point you'd be like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. You're like, he did that. He overcame this. Man, I can go ahead and do that too. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm from Mississippi, and we famously don't have the greatest education system in the country. And so as a strange form of motivation, I would usually tell myself, hey, dumber people have done it. What's my excuse? Let me go and apply myself. And like, that was it. So I do think a lot about, and I really appreciate the people who take the time to go and expose people to opportunities and access to that thing that's greater along their own definition of success. Along those lines, for Legacy Flight Academy, since I know that's probably one of the things that seems to consume a lot of the effort, time, and energy.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have done some amazing things. Can you share a little bit about exactly what happens in your events as you reach out to, all of these large cities or smaller ones? Doesn't matter. Just what happens once event rolls around.
Yeah, so when we got an event coming up, I'll kind of talk about Eyes Above the Horizon. That's an event that we have the most impact at one time in one location. And we'll go to a particular city. Like last year, we were out in Tuskegee, and we'll connect with a lot of the different community organizations, community leaders, and bring everyone together for one day. And we get between 100 to 120 kids who most have never flown a plane, been on a plane, and we give them opportunity to actually get in a plane and actually fly a plane with a FAA certified pilot. So they're actually in the controls of the airplane for the first time. And these kids are anywhere between the ages of 10 and 18. And at that point, they're doing something that they probably never could have imagined that they were going to do. They didn't even think they was going to do that. Probably a month or two before that, they was like, I'm going to go fly a plane. And along with that, we get them to go fly a plane after. They're like, I just did something completely amazing. There's absolutely nothing I can't do. If there was ever any doubt that there was something they couldn't do, they're like, of course I can do anything. I just flew a plane. Like, I don't know nobody who flies a plane. And it's crazy because there's still people I know that are like, I'm the only pilot that they know, which still blows my mind. But we get them excited about the flying aspect. And along with that, that's what gets them there. Then we add in there some character building, some teamwork. So we give them, the history and legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, the legacies of others that have came before them. We introduce them to STEM careers. We do all these other things in there. So although, they see flying and they're like this, we attach all these other things and explain, like, if you want to get there, these are the character traits you have to have. This is how you got to motivate. This is how you got to prepare. And even if they never become pilots, they've done all this preparation in the direction of what it takes to be a pilot. Now they're set up to do anything. They're set up to go in any direction that they want. So that's
good.
it.
Yeah, and I would say I appreciate it's the skill building, especially where in conjunction with the character, where it's not just conflict resolution, but also being a productive citizen, parts of teams. And so they are always a phenomenal experience for the youth, especially, but even more so for the community, because you're able to go and unite the Chamber of Commerce, business owners, community leaders, mayors, and all this stuff like that. So
we get these organizations that probably never talked much. They're talking, even though it's talking through this one event. After we leave, they still have it's like, hey, I built this relationship. Oh, we do this with kids too. Oh, we do these other things with organizations. This is what we're doing for the community. And now it kind of charges up the environment to keep growing and keep giving back and keep, building.
So one question along those lines, from the perspective of grassroots activism, which is what it actually takes in order to make any of these Herculean efforts take place, it's probably regular humans that are behind all of these things. So what is if you had the power to go and affect one thing within that grassroots activism area as it relates to things that are in the interest of the greater good, what would be that one thing you want to see?
You're saying if I want to see something change, rephrase it.
So in the area of grassroots activism, what's one obstacle or change that you'd like to see in the interest of promoting more of the greater good?
I think that we have to work together more. And I mean, because it is all regular people. Like there's some people that may get more of the voice, but at the end of the day, it's about us working all together and not fighting that, oh, well, I created this organization or I, did this effort. It's, we got to come together and find as many ways as we can to partner and work together, because we're going to do so much more in these grassroots effort by putting all of our pieces together and fighting together than to try to individually, try to piecemeal it in all these individual places. Now, those little individual things are important, but you got to be able to come together and fight for the cause, not fight each other. Like, that's the thing I want to see change, is us working together to fight upwards and not against each other.
Gotcha. Good stuff, man. So at the end of all of these, I always have that curveball question.
Oh, man.
So here's yours. So you're from an aviation background. Your final flight, when the plane lands, that's where you stop and you're not moving anywhere else. Like, you're not going anywhere else. That final flight, what would that destination be?
The last time that I fly a plane ever.
Last time you fly a plane, this is where you're gonna land it, and you can't move anywhere else. Like, that's your spot. Where are you going?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Money's no object. We got the gas. We're gonna get the tankers up, Make sure you get there.
To go wherever I want to go. Last flight. Oh man, it has to be somewhere warm. Let's see. We're going to the Bahamas. We're going to the Bahamas because weather's good, food's good. I'm chilling.
Gotcha. Cool people.
View's great.
Yeah, man. So again, I appreciate you coming on to the show. Before I end, please share where they can find out more about you and the different organizations from part of EAH to LFA. Like, share more of that information so that people can be more informed about how they can get involved as well.
Yeah, definitely. So Legacy Flight Academy, legacyflightacademy.org. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, legacyflightacademy.org. That's where you're going to find us, Facebook and Instagram, and our website. Reach out to us, support us, check out what we're doing. And we're also on YouTube as well. So check out our videos there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, it's a pleasure having you on. Always a great conversation. Put your arms around and send a good message to the wifey to be as well. All right, man.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, no problem, man. Take it easy. We'll see you later.
All right.
All right, bye.